Hey pioneers! Welcome to all of you, the true pioneers, and those who are curiously peeking into the world of Pi Network. Welcome back to the Pi from US channel. Right now, if you browse social media or visit crypto forums, what do you see? A storm of information, right? YouTube channels with clickbait titles like Pi to $100 next month, Pi Network, the golden ticket to $314, even $1,000. Dancing numbers, flashing red and green charts, all creating a sense of urgency, a classic case of FOMO, fear of missing out. But I'm here today to tell you something extremely important, a truth that many might be ignoring or failing to see amid all this hype. All those numbers, they are not Pi Network. Let me repeat this loud and clear. The prices you see on unofficial exchanges, the speculations about Pi being worth tens, hundreds, or even thousands of dollars, even though you can't yet freely transfer or widely use it, those are just illusions. They are echoes of hope, a thermometer measuring the market's interest or speculation in a promise. They are not intrinsic value. They are not the real strength of Pi Network. Many people are getting caught in a loop of thinking, oh, if I have 1,000 Pi and it hits $100, I'll have $100,000 jackpot. And from there, they start dreaming, trying to hoard Pi however they can, even paying real money to buy shady Pi accounts with unknown origins and high risks. They're seeing Pi through the lens of a lottery ticket, a pumped-up stock, or a meme coin waiting to go to the moon. But if getting rich quickly and easily is really the goal, then why not put all your money into Bitcoin, when experts are still predicting it could hit $500,000 or even $1 million in the future? Or chase small-cap altcoins that could go 10x or 100x in the next bull run. That's a completely different game, a high-risk, speculative one. Pi Network, by its very nature and design, is not made for that game. It's not a sprint to get listed and explode in price. If that were the goal, the core team could have done it long ago. Create a token on an existing blockchain, launch an ICO, get listed on big exchanges, and let the market decide the price. But they didn't. Why? Because Pi Network's vision is much greater than that. It's not just about creating a new cryptocurrency. It's about building an entire ecosystem, a platform and infrastructure for a decentralized, accessible, and truly useful digital economy for billions of people around the world. Think of it like building roads and bridges before traffic can flow smoothly. Pi is in that foundational phase right now. Finalizing its own blockchain technology, mainnet, verifying user identities, KYC, to ensure transparency and compliance, developing applications, Pi apps, and most importantly, nurturing real-world utility. This is the key difference. The value of Pi doesn't lie in how many USD you can sell it for tomorrow. The real value lies in what you can do with it. Can you use Pi to buy a cup of coffee? To pay for a service? To trade goods with others in the community? That is the true measure of Pi Network's success. And here's the second truth, possibly even more shocking for those watching Pi's price 24/7. Whether Pi's future price is $5, $10, $50, or even just $50, that almost does not affect Pi Network's potential to change your life if you understand it and engage with it the right way. Sounds crazy, doesn't it? How could price not matter? Of course it matters. If you only see Pi as an investment to flip for profit. But if you view Pi as a tool, a supplementary payment method, a bridge for economic exchange, then it's a completely different story. So, what does it mean to engage the right way? How do you truly tap into Pi's potential, regardless of price fluctuations or market hype? The answer, especially at this moment and in the near future, lies in applying Pi in real life, specifically in business and commerce. And the area where Pi has the potential to shine the brightest is tourism and retail, particularly in cities and regions that attract large numbers of international tourists. Imagine you're the owner of a small souvenir shop, a cozy cafe, a local specialty restaurant, or even a tuk-tuk driver or freelance tour guide in a popular tourist city. It could be the ancient town of Hoi An in Vietnam, the bustling streets of Myeongdong in Seoul, South Korea, or a colorful marketplace in Marrakech, Morocco. Every day, you welcome hundreds of visitors, most of whom are foreigners. They come from all over the world, bringing with them different currencies: euro, US dollar, Korean won, Japanese yen, Thai baht. And they often face the common headaches of cross-border payments. 1. Currency exchange fees. They need to exchange cash at airports, banks, or service counters, often at unfavorable rates and with additional fees, typically 1 to 3% or more, not to mention the buy-sell spread. Exchanging $1,000 could cost them $10 to $30 in fees alone. 2. International card transaction fees. If they use credit or debit cards, they often face foreign transaction fees of 2 to 4% on top of the purchase. A $100 purchase could end up costing $102, $104. 3. The risk of carrying cash. Bringing large amounts of foreign cash can be stressful, with concerns about theft or accidental loss. 4. Card acceptance issues. Many small shops, street food stalls, or local services, especially in developing countries, don't have POS machines or don't accept international cards, forcing tourists to carry cash. 5. Leftover change. At the end of a trip, tourists are often left with small amounts of local currency. It's not worth exchanging, and they're not sure what to do with it. These are the pain points that Pi Network, when applied properly, can elegantly solve. Now, let's come back to you, the business owner. You decide to do something simple. You hang a small, charming sign at your shop's entrance. We accept PiCoin. What happens next? First, you create a massive differentiator. Picture the shopping district of Myeongdong in Seoul. Hundreds of cosmetic stores, fashion boutiques, and eateries lined up. All of them accept Korean Won or international cards like Visa and MasterCard. But your store is the only one that also displays the Pi Network logo. A German tourist, a pioneer Pi user, is strolling by. He could walk into any shop. But when he sees the Pi sign, something special happens. Wow, this is a place where I can spend the Pi I've been mining. Your store instantly stands out. It catches the eye not just of Pi users, but also of curious onlookers. It signals that you're open to new technology, future-oriented and forward-thinking. Second, you unlock an entirely new stream of potential customers. The global Pi Network community currently has tens of millions of KYC-verified users and millions more actively participating. That's a massive, growing market. Many pioneers are eagerly searching for places where they can use their Pi coins for real-world transactions. They actively look through Pi maps like Pi Chain Mall, Pi Hub, and share business info in community groups. When you accept Pi, you're not just selling goods, you're joining a global network. A tourist from South Africa could know about your store before they even arrive, just because you accept Pi. And now that Pi Network has integrated with Banksa to allow instant Pi coin purchases directly within the wallet, the number of users who can spend Pi is essentially unlimited. Third, you don't have to change your core business model. This is a crucial point that many misunderstand. You do not need to price your products in Pi. That would be a mistake. Pi's value can fluctuate, and constantly updating price tags would be impractical and risky. The correct approach is keep listing your prices in local currency, VND, KRW, South African Rand, or a stable currency like USD. For example, a t-shirt costs $15. If a customer wants to pay with Pi, you and the customer simply check the current Pi USD rate being traded on the exchanges. The customer pays the equivalent amount in Pi. For instance, if the agreed rate is 1 Pi equals $5, they'll pay 3 Pi. If it's 1 Pi equals $10, they'll pay 1.5 Pi. The transaction is complete. You receive Pi. The customer gets their t-shirt. Simple, transparent. So what are the benefits for customers, especially international tourists? Let's take an example of an American tourist visiting Cape Town, South Africa, a stunning city with the majestic Table Mountain, scenic beaches, and vibrant local craft markets. 1. Maximum convenience. Instead of looking for a place to exchange USD to South African Rand and worrying about exchange rates or hidden fees, he spots a local craft store that accepts Pi. The item he likes is priced at 500 ZAR, around 30 USD. 2. Easy, low-cost payment. He opens his Pi wallet on his phone, scans the shop's QR code, enters the equivalent amount of Pi based on the current consensus exchange rate, and confirms. The transaction takes just a few seconds with near zero blockchain fees, faster than swiping a card and safer than carrying cash. 3. No hidden fees. He avoids foreign exchange fees and international card transaction fees. The entire $30 value is converted directly into the goods he receives. 4. Flexibility. All he needed was to install the Pi Network app in advance, complete KYC at home, and have USD funds ready in his Google Pay wallet. Similarly, imagine a European tourist at a night market in Seoul, wanting to enjoy some street food. Instead of fumbling to exchange euros into Korean Won, if food stalls accept Pi, even for items worth just $5 to $10, the experience becomes far smoother and more enjoyable. But isn't this a hassle? What do I do with the Pi I receive? That's a reasonable question from business owners. Here are the answers. Simplicity. Setting it up is extremely easy. Just download the Pi wallet and generate a QR code to receive payments. The transaction is simply a scan and a tap to confirm. Compared to registering for a POS terminal or handling change, using Pi is even more streamlined. Sure, there's a bit of a learning curve at first, but it's not as complicated as many fear. What to do with received Pi? This is where the vision of the ecosystem comes into play. you can instantly convert Pi to cash on exchanges without worrying about price volatility. The current liquidity of Pi network on exchanges is sufficient to meet demand. And don't forget the psychological and trend-based factors. The world is changing at lightning speed. Cryptocurrency is no longer a foreign concept. Younger generations have grown up with smartphones and cashless transactions. They are more open to new technology. Even traditionally conservative countries are exploring and piloting central bank digital currencies, CBDCs. Accepting a digital payment method like Pi isn't just following a trend. It's future-proofing, preparing for a new wave of consumption. Think back 10 to 15 years ago. Scanning a QR code to pay by phone was still unfamiliar in many places. But those who first accepted mobile wallets like Momo, ZaloPay in Vietnam, KakaoPay in South Korea, or M-Pesa in Kenya gained a huge advantage when those methods became mainstream. Pi Network could follow a similar path, but on a global, decentralized scale. So my message today is clear, especially for those running businesses in tourist hubs. Don't wait. Don't wait for Pi to hit $100 on the exchange. It might never happen the way you imagine. Don't wait until every other store already has a sign accepts Pi coin. Be a pioneer. Starting today, learn how to set up a Pi wallet. Generate a payment QR code. Try hanging a small sign that says you accept Pi. You don't lose much, maybe just a bit of time, but here's what you could gain. The attention of a global community, new customers you never could reach before, a unique competitive edge, the chance to become part of a potential payment revolution. Imagine in 3 to 5 years, when the Pi ecosystem is more mature, with a diverse range of apps, and using Pi for travel and shopping becomes normal. Those who embraced it early will benefit the most, building loyal customer bases and strong brand recognition within the network. If you don't do it, your competitors will. If Vietnam doesn't seize this, competing destinations like Thailand or Indonesia might. If Seoul hesitates, Tokyo or Bangkok could take the lead. If the markets in Marrakech aren't ready, perhaps those in Nairobi or Accra will move first. The opportunity lies in acting early. Save this video, mark today's date, come back in 3 or 5 years and see, did what we talk about today become reality? Did those bold shops that put up accept Pi coin signs reap the rewards? I believe the answer will be yes. Thank you for taking the time to listen to today's rather long message. I know it was a lot of information, but I hope it gave you a deeper and more practical insight into the real potential of Pi Network, a potential rooted in utility and community, not just speculative numbers. What do you think about using Pi for payments in tourism and retail? Are you a business owner considering this option? Leave a comment below. Let's discuss. Don't forget to like if you found this video useful, share it with fellow business owners, and subscribe to Pi from Us for more in-depth and practical insights into Pi Network and the world of crypto. See you in the next video.